All right. Well, the players are sitting down in the feature match area and they're about ready to go. Let's go for round number 7. We got 2 winning ends for you. Let's watch them go down and see who closes out those last 2 slots before we get to the elimination rounds. Just to remind you, this started as a 1K guaranteed, but because of great attendance and because of the generosity of the owner, Mr. Kyle Huck, we got $2,390 total dollars in the prize pool, all cash. First place, the big number, 550 bones. That's what these players are playing for, as well as first and second place. Get a qualification to the regional championship in San Diego in the early months of next year, as well as a qualification to the Apex Gaming Invitational in February. So a lot on the line for these players here as they do battle and try to make their way to the top 8.
And players looking at opening hands here. That looks like, yeah, Jordan Davis on 4-color as he planes, Iteration, Fury. Windswept Heath was their play on turn 1. Not sure what the last card is. Zachary starts on an Esper Sentinel. Great opening for his deck.
All right, Davis here going to crack a fetch. Going to go look for, I'm guessing a Triumph, but could play something in response to the Esper Sentinel. Turn on Esper Sentinel from Reese. Really annoying card, honestly. Like a 1 mana Thalia a lot of times when you play against it. Or, you know, you just have to kind of reluctantly shrug and give your opponent a card so you can just play the game.
Yeah, and this is a more creature-like version of the deck, so Esper Sentinel going to be even more of a pain. Can't just, sit there casting Risen Reefs into it. That is a Solitude off the top, though.
Yep. Now we have a Prismatic Ending, and then we are going to be able to pay. So clean answer to the Esper Sentinel. Now, these are not open deckless tournaments, so these players might not know what they're playing. This Prismatic Ending, might be better suited for a different type of card since these Urza decks can go a little bit bigger, but the Esper Sentinel is rather scary for Jordan Davis, so just wanted to take it out now.
Just an Urza Saga for Reese on turn 2 here, so probably going to be looking to make some constructs with that over the next couple turns.
And Angel just got its wings, Ross.
No land 3 for Jordan Davis?
No, a plains drawn with Expressive Iteration in hand. That's what we got.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
All right, Cavern of Souls is the play from Reese, but with this Urza Saga on 2, we're going to start making some constructs. Jordan Davis finds the 3rd land. Let's see if he has a play this turn or just a bunch of reactive stuff.
We'll get confirmation on what that cavern named in just a second, but for now, it's going to be tapping for colorless to make some constructs.
If I'm not mistaken, is Esper Sentinel a human? I think Esper Sentinel
is a human.
And Urza are both humans, so you have the ability to cavern on human for them too.
But you also have Stoneforge Mystics.
That's true. That's true.
What options do we have to tutor with this Urza Saga on the next turn? We got an Ether Spellbomb, a Chromatic Star, a Pithing Needle, a Shadow Spear, a Soul Guide Lantern, a Springleaf Drum. A lot of options.
All right, Reese going to be floating a mana instead of making a second construct. That's
maybe going for an Urza this turn.
Yeah, that floating mana. Now with Springleaf Drum as the find, we could potentially play the Urza this turn.
Cavern is on human. We have confirmed that. Good call, Todd.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we float a mana. We get to tutor for an artifact. We'll see what we go get. Whatever we go get kind of indicates the rest of the hand, but Zach Reese has been kind of holding it close to the grip. Hard to tell what he's got going on over there. Jordan Davis, we can see his whole hand. 2 Iteration, Omnath, Fury, Solitude. So pretty juicy hand, but not a whole lot of mana.
Yeah.
Could have fired off an Errant Expressive Iteration, but had already played a land for the turn.
Yeah, that's an interesting spot, because you kind of want to get back into the game and cast your spells, so are you willing to forego some value to increase your development speed? Jordan Davis says, I am not. And that's probably motivated by the fact that Omnath, Fury, and Solitude are both great cards at catching you up from behind.
Right.
So he has a bunch of ways to catch up. Might as well get his value with the iterations and then use those cards to get back in, to parity on the battlefield.
All right, Reese, going to fetch. Flutter Strand Pop. Let's see what the play is for the turn. So much shuffling with these decks. So much shuffling. All right, Howlpound going to shock, or thinks better of it maybe. Going to go get a Plains. Deck is not super color intensive, so it's okay to protect your life total a little bit. While the 4-color control deck doesn't pressure a life total that quickly, when it gets going, it hits you in big chunks, and sometimes that 2 life can make a big difference. All right, with the 1 mana floating, we're going to tap 3. Cavernon Human is going to cast Urza uncounterable, and that's going to make a construct.
And that's going to get these constructs up to 3/3.
Yep. Now, Jordan has the ability here with the trigger on the stack to actually zap the Urza.
Well, no white. Well, we have the Omnath to pitch the solid. Okay.
Yeah.
So could do that, but Omnath seems kind of important.
Yeah, that's true. And we could also just hold it in Fury at next turn, and very little has changed.
Unfortunately, the combination of Solitude and Fury can't clean up all 3 of these creatures.
Now, what we do have here is, it seems like Zach Reese is leaving up Metallic Rebuke. You know, no attack with a construct there is very suspect, but if you're Jordan, you can sniff it out pretty easily. It's very obviously something that costs 2 or 3 mana. Otherwise, the construct would have attacked.
Well, and yeah, you're right. You can suss it out, but at this point, being so far behind, can you afford to play around it?
Right. I think maybe you can with all the pitch spells. Lightning Bolt the draw for turn, not great against these constructs or the Urza. I guess they're only 3/3 right now, so maybe it's okay.
Yeah, but no 4th land to then play it around the Rebuke.
All right, an expressive iteration here to dig for lands. Reese is going to let it go. Wants to, I guess, tag the interactive spells. Now, though, the Metallic Rebuke could pop something like Solitude or Fury.
And it looks like we found 2 lands and a prismatic ending. So a great iteration. Kind of wish you could keep all 3.
Yeah.
Chooses to go for land endings so we can make a land drop and at least try to deal with one of these constructs.
Can also fetch Bolt, and then I think still play 2 pitch elementals with the cards in hand. So able to clear the board, but going to be out of resources, facing off the Metallic Rebuke if he wants to clear everything.
You got to figure one of those things will get countered by Rebuke. And so Davis can now pick which one. Because if you aim any removal at the construct, you're forcing the Rebuke.
Right. That's probably the place to start, right? Lightning Bolt targeting construct.
Or ending targeting construct.
Yeah.
Either way seems fine.
All right, we're going to fetch. I believe that's a Flooded Strand, so we're going to go get a Shockland, likely Sacred Foundry or Steam Vents to be able to play that Lightning Bolt, would be my guess. Stomping Ground also potential, I guess. Oh, no, a Flooded Strand, excuse me. I was right the first time. And there's Steam Vents.
So Davis going to fall to 14, 15 with that fetch and shock. Which one are we going to lead with first?
Taking his time here, really thinking through this turn with all these interactive pieces and the pitch spells. Again, I'm pretty sure he has the capability to play 4 spells right now with just 2 mana up and can clear the board through the Metallic Rebuke, but it would literally drain all of his resources. Yeah, I think Rebuke on the ending just kind of has to be played because otherwise you can't Rebuke this turn, and it just lets you use that mana.
Yep, and there it is. So that's going to save the construct, and now we're likely to see a Bolt and Fury.
Yeah, or Solitude. I think keeping the Omnath's good, though.
Yeah, you can Solitude pitch Omnath or Fury pitch Iteration or Fury pitch Omnaths. 3 different options here to clear up the Urza, but definitely think you want to get the Urza off the battlefield.
I'd probably Fury pitch Iteration and keep Solitude and Omnath because you kind of just want to cast the Omnath next turn.
Next turn you can go Omnath, hopefully hit a fetch in 2 draws, and then Solitude immediately too.
Yeah.
But maybe he wants the card advantage from the Iteration. Yep. Davis decides to keep the Iteration. Also reasonable. Iteration's a great card here.
Yeah, agreed. Selesky here at the ready as well.
If you could have pitched one elemental to the other, I think you would have done that.
Yeah.
And kept Iteration Omnath.
Reese draws for the turn. Had his board decimated here. Now just a 1 construct and a Springleaf Drum.
He's got 4 cards in hand, so still stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Still a construct on the battlefield, so see how he can rebuild that. Is that a Nettle Cyst?
Sure is. It's a large boy.
There we go. Now we got a 3/3 Germ and a 3/3 Construct.
Now, it would be pretty aggressive, I think, to equip the Nettle Cyst to the construct, but I kind of want to do it.
Nah, too aggressive.
Yeah. All right, we got 1 mana and 2 artifacts up. So this could be room for another Metallic Rebuke.
Yeah.
Curious if Reese has it. Metallic Rebuke has been pretty impressive lately, honestly.
Construct got in for 3, so Davis falls to 12. And yeah, drew a land here. Could have played this around a Rebuke, but no Rebuke there, so. Davis finds Ren and 6 Omnath and another land. Have to imagine we'll keep the Omnath and the Ren. Ren is like a land drop that also gains you 4 life.
Yeah, but if he needs to use his mana, he also tapped his lands wrong. Or just...
Well, he has another land in
Not
hand.
wrong. You cannot use the planes to play the expressive iteration,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter.
So you take 2 to cast the Ren, but that's still gaining 2 life. Seems good enough to me. Because otherwise the Ren is great with the Omnath if your opponent just chooses to get really aggressive. So maybe they're able to just play 2 artifacts and kill you. So that's kind of the risk, is if you just end up dying. What artifacts would they have, though? Maybe Portable Hole?
I don't know. Maybe like a Ether Spellbomb or something. Some artifact to just buff them up that you would play off the Saga.
Spellbound they would have played last turn.
Well, draw for turn. Just things you can play next turn. I don't know. All right, we're going to shock. We're going to buy Kahira. Okay, that lets us pitch Solitude. That's probably not so bad.
I like that.
I would, in response to this fetch, I would go Banana Ham right now. I would Solitude right now.
Yeah, I forgot about the Kira. I like that line. Let's make sure this battlefield is clear. Try to find something off this Omnath next turn. Definitely going to hit there. No point in hitting the Germ. The Construct is higher value.
Yeah, plus if you hit the Germ, you can just move the Nettle Cyst over if he's got extra mana. It's one of the powerful things about Living Weapon. Nettle Cyst, Batterskull, these cards are stellar equipment because they come with a creature attached.
Yeah, they don't really function like normal equipment because of that. They're really just creatures with added value.
Right. But Batterskull always was just, Baneslayer Angel that you could tutor up and cheat into play with Stoneforge Mystic. Now we got Cauldron complete. Here's a Thopter Foundry. That one is spicy. I don't know if it changes the dynamic of the game that much. It's just there, but it is scary later on for sure.
Notably, Thopter Foundry does say sacrifice a non-token artifact, so we can't sacrifice the Construct once it gets solituded.
Ooh, good call. I hope that doesn't come up. I really don't want to run into the other room. But people that play with Thopter Foundry usually know that caveat.
Soul Guide Lantern hits a fetch land with the ETB, and now this is a threatening and lethal attack, but we know the Solitude is in Davis's hand.
I'm still rooting for Metallic Rebuke. I want Max Punish for missing the opportunity when the Rebuke was down. Here's the Solitude. We're going to pitch the Kahira.
Construct, so Reese is going to gain 5, go to 23. This Germ's going to come across for 4, bring Davis to 6.
Okay. And now, at the end of turn, we can use the Springleaf Drum, or we can sack the Soul Guide Lantern with Thopter Foundry, make a 1/1, tap the Springleaf Drum for another mana with the Thopter, sack Springleaf Drum, make another 1/1, start getting it in the air.
There's a Ren and 6 off the top for Davis, so we can start this turn with the Omnath. And we have a fetch land to go with it.
Yeah, we have a fetch land, which notably can go gain 4 life now, pass turn. On your turn, I'm going to sack fetch, gain another 4 life.
There's a Solitude, so...
Maybe this 4-color Omnath deck is just still really messed up.
Fetch land brings Davis to 10. It's not really the deck that's messed up, it's more the card.
Just the card Omnath.
Yeah.
Only. Yeah.
And yeah, I think Davis here is going to fetch a tapped land.
And then hardcast the Solitude.
Go up to 13. Yeah. Yeah, go for it, sure. Now we've got Wurg floating. White, blue, red, green.
Yeah, and with the Rogren, we can complete the second white. All right, and that's going to eat the germ. Now we can make a big flyer, though.
So, yeah, gain 4. Yeah, go to 27.
Now we're just doing the fair Thopter Foundry thing.
And We didn't. We don't have mana to play that red. So.
No, there's no mana floating. So looks like Zach Reese is contemplating drawing a card. Says just gonna sack just the Springleaf Drum.
Yeah, I think they want to draw a card with the Soul Guide Lantern, but they want to make the creature on the end step so they can equip Nettlesis and attack.
Right.
So gonna gain another life go to 24.
Here we go.
What are our leftovers? 2 cards left in hand.
Portable Hole.
Portable Hole is meh. It'll deal
Yeah.
with that Wren.
It will, but it might be played this turn. Just to get an extra damage with the Thopter.
Nah, not against an Omnath.
Yeah, I guess so.
So this is a 5/5 currently. 5 Thopter. And you want to attack. Problem, well, maybe not because the solid, like at least it checks the Solitude,
Right.
which is also 3 life that it represents. Omnath just turns games around instantly.
Who do you think made that card? Just if you had to guess, one person at Watts do you think made that card? Just curious.
I think we didn't record the life gain from the other Solitude yet, so Reese actually had 28. No idea who made Omnath.
Well, they're on my list.
Davis falls to 5 from the
That's
attack.
kind of
And
a Christmas card.
the other card in Reese's hand was a Seachrome Coaster. Just a Portable Hole left in hand that will deal with this Omnath. But Omnath getting a fetch land represents potentially 7 more life.
All right, here comes the Omnath. Or sorry, here comes the Renin 6. This is going to tick up. This is going to go get a land. And that land going to gain 4 life here and then 4 life on the opponent's turn. But with the fetch, it is only the 7.
Now, if Zach Reese can find either the Sword of the Meek, Stoneforge Mystic, Urza, or a removal spell for Omnath, then we're doing something. But barring some of those, I don't think we have a permanent removal spell for Omnath in the main deck. Yeah, it's 4 Portable Hole, an Ether Spellbomb, and counter spells and an Auto Warren. Oh, there isn't a Ganjo. We draw
Okay.
the Ganjo,
Okay.
we can get it in combat.
All right, Solitude and Omnath crunching in. Reese going to pop the Soul Guide Lantern during the end step and draw a card. Looking for something. Maybe another Urza, maybe Sword of the Meek so we can start doing the Thopter Sword shenanigans. That's a pretty good against Omnath, right? Just making 6 1/1s every turn or whatever.
Yeah, that'll eventually win the game.
The Omnath by itself, once it's drawn its card, generated a mana or whatever, the only thing that's really threatening after that is life gain. And Thopter Sword does not really care about you gaining like 4 to 7 life every turn cycle. Ooh. All right, well, we're getting dangerously close to combo killing. This Urza was a great draw. Making a construct that's going to allow us to get in a lot of damage with the Nettle-assisted 1/1. And then also maybe spinning. Maybe going for the kill.
We do have 5 mana. Could just tap out and spin. That seems a little reckless.
Well, what we can do, we have 1 mana back too, right? So we tap the Nettle Cyst, Thopter Foundry, Construct, and Portable Hole with the Seachrome Coast, and we can spin with Urza. Maybe get lucky and we hit Sword of the Meek and win the game.
Yeah, I would. We can afford to wait. Got to play some defense here.
You're 21. Who cares? You still have Urza? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Free card. As long as you don't want a free card, your deck's not playing at instant speed. You don't get to play the stuff later. Use your stuff. IMO.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine taking 7 damage too.
He just got in for 5. Notably, the Nettle Cyst counts Urza Saga as an enchantment, so
Nice, nice.
that germ is a 5/5.
Let's see.
And,
It's not a
Davis-
germ, it's construct, and it's bigger than that. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 7/7, actually,
Oh.
right? Yeah, so it's a 1/1 itself, and the Nettlesis is 1/1 for every artifact and enchantment. And there's Thopter,
Oh yeah, that's
Nettle.
a Thopter, not a. It's a Thopter, yeah.
More damage then.
Yes. So that's a 7/7.
All right, we're gonna go make sure that life tools are correct
Or,
because that is a static buff.
Yeah, because that's a Thopter token. Nettlesys should give +1, +6/+6, and it's a 1/1 itself.
Yep. Good catch.
And this is why you use real tokens.
This is why I play Magic Online.
Unless you have Ross Miriam tokens, and you use those.
Only use Ross Merriam tokens. Ross, I have a question. When you play Magic the Gathering and you have a deck that does not make 1/1 elemental tokens, do you use only Ross Merriam tokens? Just say yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because otherwise, I think you're a poser.
They said it was 1 more damage.
Okay.
Well, it should have been a 7-point attack.
Yeah. Well, I think they did for 6. They just missed the saga.
No.
The Thopter itself is an artifact. So there's 5 artifacts and 1
it's
enchantment.
attached to an
Yeah. There's 5 artifacts
Let's
in play,
move on.
1 enchantment, and it's a base power and toughness is 1/1.
Look, whenever both players fail to agree on reality, I don't know what to do, man. Let's just
Okay.
keep on.
Here's an Urza spin that finds a portable hole.
pretty
That'll
good.
deal with these other Ren and 6.
Both Ren's taken down. Now, the Thopter definitely getting in, right? What else we
So
doing?
that's
Making a
2
saga?
mana. Yeah, let's make another construct. And yeah, Omnath turned this game around a little bit, but Davis hasn't really found anything to follow up besides some Rens that immediately got answered. And Reese has found lots of goodies.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge attack. The Solitude might have to chump block, or the Omnath and Solitude might have to gang block something. Right now, the constructs 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
count
6.
7 artifacts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do too.
Yeah,
Alright, so
two-
that's a 7/7. So that's a double block if you want it. Because the Nettle Cyst plus the construct is a legal
Oh,
pack.
well-
Oh, we're just packing it in.
Yeah, let's packing it in.
See you later. Don't want to play no more.
Once you have to trade away those creatures, there's like nothing left
Yeah.
Jordan can really draw.
Are there
So-
any Supreme Verdicts in the 75? Can you check on that?
for Jordan Davis?
Yeah, so the 4-color control deck, they don't always play Verdict, but sometimes they play like 2 Verdicts in the deck. This was more for the Yoron builds, though, so, his build could be quite different.
Yeah. So Zach Reese takes game 1. Let's look at some sideboards. For Jordan Davis, down a game here, has the Kihir, the Orphan Guard as a companion, 2 Beseiju Who Endures, 2 Engineered Explosives, 2 Relic of Progenitus, 2 Hallowed Moonlight, 2 Veil of Summer, 1 Mystical Dispute, 1 Dovin's Veto, and 2 Chalice the Void.
What you like in the matchup, Ross?
Mystical Dispute?
Okay, not a whole lot. Okay.
Engineered Explosives. Yeah, you got to do constructs. So EEs are going to be good too. EEs, Mystical Dispute. Maybe Veto is okay, but
I
most
don't
of
love
their keys are
Veto.
third.
There's a lot of creatures.
Yeah.
Saga's a big deal. I don't like playing Veto. I don't like counterspells against Saga decks.
Yeah. So really just those. And then on Reese's side, 1 Containment Priest, 2 Damping Sphere, 2 Dovin's Veto, 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Hallowed Moonlight, 1 Lavinia Azorius Renegade, 3 Path Exile, 2 Sanctifier Invec, 1 Teferi Time Raveler, and 1 Wear Tear. I like the Teferi. I like the Paths so that you have actual answers to
The big
Omnath.
boys. Yeah.
Though, Path isn't the best there, but it's what you got.
It is what you got. That's yesterday when we were playing the Apex Gauntlet, I had a Path Exile in my Hammer Time sideboard, and I just don't even care. I don't bring it in, right? And then everyone in chat's like, "No, bring it in. It's gonna be great." And every time I cast it, it's like, "Okay, it did the thing, but giving you a land was maybe worse."
You could talk me into this Lavinia too. Stops the evoke on the elementals.
Okay, Lavinia's a cool card. I can find so many uses for that card in like every matchup.
I'm not enamored with it. I could take it or leave it, but it might come in.
I just mean in general, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, both players here figuring out their sideboards as we shuffle up for game number 2. A really impressive showing from the Urza side of things, beating the Omnath, the heavy elemental pitch draw, multiple Ren and 6s.
Yeah, Zach Reese now 1 game away from making it into the top 8 of this tournament. We will be bringing you every round today. So this is our last round of Swiss. We're going to have 3 more rounds after it. And going to send 2 people to the regional championship in San Diego and 2 people to the Apex Gaming Invitational here in Caldwell, Ohio this coming February.
Yeah, we will be bringing you all 3 of those top 8 matches tonight, barring some sort of shenanigan, such as Christmas Winter Storm, where Jack Frost turns the whole town to ice, or perhaps Power Outage, done by like Renegade Gingerbread Man that are running all over the city, causing
Or
havoc.
a zombie apocalypse.
Or Zombocalypse, yeah.
Wait for that.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, we'll
apparently-
play through the Zombocalypse.
Yeah.
Well, half of them are probably going to be in the room already. So.
Yeah.
I
Suddenly,
did see
everyone's
someone
deck
nod
has
on
Gravecrawler in it.
Yeah. I saw somebody nod on someone else earlier and thought it was just kink, but
Nope. Zombocalypse.
Zombocalypse. All right, looks like we are drawing opening hands here for game number 2. Jordan Davis on your right, playing that 4-color control deck's gonna be on the play. Zach Reese playing that blue-white Urza, Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek deck.
Is that a Hallowed Moonlight in Davis's hand?
Yeah, look like. Wonder what that's for.
Maybe I am misremembering what that card does, but I didn't think it affected tokens. Oh, it
does
does. No, it
affect
does.
tokens.
It does.
It does, yeah.
Okay.
But what token? Oh, so Jordan Davis brought in Howled Moonlight, not Zach Reese, right? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it stops at Saga token.
Yeah, stops Saga token or
It stops at Urza token.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. And it cantrips.
It's,
Sure.
It is what it is.
It's a low opportunity cost. Sometimes it'll trade for a reasonable creature.
Yep.
And draw a card.
Blue-white artifact land from Zach Reese is the start. We'll see if he can leverage that being an artifact, making Nettle Cyst better, things of that nature. I don't believe he's playing any of the 8-cast style stuff like Thoughtcast and Thought Monitor.
No, these lists are more about individually powerful cards being like a mid-range deck.
Yeah.
Stoneforge Mystic and then what's the other? Ingenious Smith.
Stoneforge Mystic being able to go get Sword of the Meek when you already have a Thopter Foundry gives me the Vapus.
Here's the Stoneforge Mystic.
There we go.
Wonder what we'll find with this one. Maybe we want Sword of the Meek to set it up. Maybe we want.
Do you think Nintendo's going to give me a cease and desist for going, here we go?
Probably not.
They've been cease and desisting people over other stuff.
Oh, we're probably not gonna ever find out.
That's true. Don't tell them, chat. Nettle Cyst is the fine. The mid-range beatdowner.
Yeah. Wonder if Jordan Davis would have preferred to wait and let Zach Reese maybe think that the Stoneforge might live.
Yeah.
Get Calder complete. Stranded. Once you know the Stoneforge is dead, you're gonna get Nettle Cyst if you want value. You're gonna get the Sword of the Meek if you're trying to set up the combo.
Yeah. Could have been a minor mistake from Jordan Davis. Maybe it comes back to bite him.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Now, if you're Zach Reese, you're probably assuming your first Stoneforge Mystic is gonna die.
It's true.
So-
I believe he's got a backup as well. Zach
Well,
Reese draws.
The Hallowed Moonlight also stops germ tokens off living weapons. So
Sure
it's
does.
Calder complete.
And it looks like if he's playing a Saga here, if he goes for the Nettle Cyst, it's probably going to get swallowed up. Looks like we're going to go for Talisman of Dominance, probably into Stoneforge Mystic as the play. Love me a good Talisman of Dominance. I want to say Dominance. I think maybe it's Unity. It's
No,
the blue-white one.
Unity is Celestia.
I think Dominance is blue-black. I once
Is
played...
it Progress?
I think it's Progress. I once played a PTQ on Magic Online, and I accidentally had blue-black talismans in my blue-white Tron deck.
That's not great.
Lamau. I am professional.
It is indeed Talisman of Progress, a singleton in
Good
the deck
call.
list.
All right, Stoneforge grabs. Cauldron complete. Jordan Davis going to have to take care of the Stoneforge if he wants to not have to sweat that huge living weapon. 4th mana source. What are we going to do? Expressive Iteration, 2 Omnath, Hallowed Moonlight. Another white card. Can't quite tell what it is. Maybe a Prismatic Ending.
Is this going to get the Hallowed Moonlight? Oh, no, we just showing what he found.
Yeah, I'm actually not really sure. Maybe he got a second Nettle Cyst. Curious what the reveal was for.
Just planning to grind value.
All right, untaps the Stoneforge Mystic. That's usually a scary place to be, but Jordan does have the Hallowed Moonlight to stop living weapon for half a turn.
With a land here from Reese, we can activate Stoneforge for a Nettle Cyst at 2 mana and still make a construct.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, maybe he doesn't have the land.
I think he's going for the Cauldron. So we can put living weapon on the stack and then cast Hallowed Moonlight. We don't have to do it here.
Yeah.
So if Hallowed Moonlight is cast first, then Reese can just choose not to put anything into play, so he gets to keep his germ for later. So it's kind of a weird timing thing for Jordan. But I think it works how Jordan wants. So we'll get the living weapon trigger on the stack. And then the equipment attaches to it.
Jordan deciding to ask his opponent to read living weapon cards in response to the Stoneforge is a little weird, but still going to get the Calder complete germ here.
Yeah, and this is the important one to get because it has haste, and that's a pretty fast clock. So Hallowed Moonlight was going to resolve. We're going to draw a card. Living Weapon no longer active for the rest of the turn. We'll see what the follow-up is.
And we're now at the point where Omnath can start doing things. I see 2 Omnaths in hand. Jordan Davis does have another land. Not sure if it's a fetch, but looks like one.
This one's for every Steven Universe fan in the chat. That's a reality check.
You all enjoyed that.
I did. I enjoyed doing it. Does that count?
Who doesn't?
All right, here comes Omnath Fetch Land into 5-drop. Let's see how bad it's going to be. The classic free 4/4 that draws a card and gains 4 life every single turn. Just, wow.
It does everything.
Yeah. Really glad they made that one.
I actually have Omnath doing my taxes next year.
Yeah? Probably doesn't charge you too much neither.
Nope, it's free.
Yeah, because you get a huge refund.
Okay.
Every turn.
First land, go up to 23.
All right. Well, Fetch can go Expressive Iteration into like up to a 3-drop, depending on the cost. Could be a Ren 6, but I mean, there's a lot of scary stuff on Zach Reese's side of the board, you know, like Reality Chip. Not that scary, but can get out of control when you play Urza and have a ton of mana.
Yeah, there's definitely ways for Reese to go over the top of this, but I think he's going to have to do it quickly. Because Davis has enough interaction that he can dig for to stop those, over the top measures. So, time of the essence here for Reese, and I'm not sure if a bunch of Nettle Cysts is going to do it. So we've got 4 mana in pool, 2 of it being used for this Renin 6. That's going to rebuy one of the fetch lands. So now there's blue-white in pool for Jordan Davis. Also has the forest untapped.
Maybe casts a Teferi here. Looks like no Teferi. I think there's a prismatic ending, so that might get cast maybe on Stoneforge Mystic, maybe in Reality Chip. There we go. Chip.
Chip down.
Gets sent to the Shadow Realm.
Chow.
Before, gonna peek at the top.
Yeah, I mean, you may think, oh, what is he doing? Why is he just looking at the top of his deck? Well, it turns out with Reality Chip, you can just do that.
You're
Just take a look at the top card at any time. I miss the days of Corsair Crewfix where it's just reveal it. Why, don't be manipulating your deck all the time,
Well, Corsair Crewfix led to a lot of game losses from people revealing
Forgetting to
cards
reveal?
after it died or forgetting to reveal.
Okay, maybe that's why I changed it. Okay, good change.
Yeah. One of them was to me.
Well, you got a game loss, or
Yeah.
someone got a game loss to you?
I did.
Rip.
I only did it 3 times in 2 years of playing the Corsair, but they were all in the same game.
Nice. All right, here we go. Either Spellbomb is the fine. That can bounce the Omnath, but
Okay.
is that something we want to bounce?
Yeah, that's not really slowing Jordan Davis down all that much. It's making him spend 4 mana, but also drawing him an extra card.
Now, probably not going to happen, but could potentially Ether Spellbomb our own Stoneforge Mystic, recast it, and go get something. I feel like our hand is so flush that that's unnecessary.
Oh,
4
maybe
mana.
maybe he wants to find the maybe he wants to find the Sword of the Meek.
That's true.
Because we got the Urza. If that can find the Sword of the Meek, we just need the Thopter Foundry, and that's
Can we get Cauldron Complete on the screen? I don't know how much it costs to equip. I don't think it's that much. I think it's like 5.
7.
It costs 7 to cast. I doubt it costs 7 to equip, but we'll see. With that Urza, I believe he has enough mana to actually just do it right now.
Okay.
If it costs 5.
Chromatic Star, another play for Reese.
7. Wow, okay.
Yep.
It is expensive. That's fine.
They templated it similar to Batterskull.
All right. Well, can't quite do it yet, but has 5 mana to potentially spin the Urza, but gonna sit back and play a little defense so the Omnath can't attack. Might have Metallic Rebuke or something similar to interact. But we're back Jordan Davis's way. Untapping with Omnath. Feels good, man. Fetch Shock is plus 4 mana.
But I don't see a lot of interactive cards. It looks like lands, another Omnath, and an Iteration.
Yeah, Expressive Iteration is just like Ancestral Recall at this point, right? Like it's like 1 dead card and then 2 great spells, and you just keep both.
So if the Iteration bricks, we might see Reese combo off.
Yeah, how often in history has Expressive Iteration bricked when you had 19 mana?
Got.
All right, 1 land, Expressive Iteration number 2, and a Hallowed Moonlight. Semi-brick. I'll give it to you.
Okay, so yeah, get the Moonlight to hand if we need it next turn. That'll at least stop a combo for a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can crack this fetch to generate Wurg. Ooh.
Ooh, we're gonna bounce the Omnath in response so that there's no mana to float. I like this play from Zach Reese. This is a tempo ether spell bomb. Ooh, maybe not. Something different. What's this white?
Well-
Oh, Path to Exile. That's right.
We're gonna path it. Okay.
All right, I like it. It's gone for
Yeah.
good.
That way we save the spell bomb for our Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're allowed to search for a land.
You're allowed to search for a basic
Basic.
land.
Does
Look how many basic
well-
lands are in play. I don't think there's a mountain in the deck. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I will check, but I don't think I saw one when I looked over earlier. Yep, just plains, forest, island. That is a very good path exile.
Yeah. All right, so Jordan Davis gonna be fetching for the Misty Rainforest though, and if he wants to cast the Expressive Iteration, needs to find red mana. If he wants to cast Omnath, needs to find red mana, so that's another shock. But at a healthy life total right now, so it's okay. Omnath did a lot of work already.
Now, notably, in order to stop the combo, Jordan Davis is going to need to respond to one of the pieces entering the battlefield from hand. Because if you get to a situation where Sword is in the graveyard and Foundry's in play, you can always just spend another mana, sack some other non-creature artifact you have to restart the loop and start generating mana with Urza that way. In response to the Hallowed Moonlight. But there's a Leyline Binding off the second iteration, so that will likely deal with this Urza.
Well, we can Ether Spellbomb it.
Oh yeah, the Spellbomb actually protects the
Yeah.
Urza, so
And I think that's
No.
why Zach Reese has kind of held it there and not cracked it or anything. He's just using it to protect his Urza right now.
yeah, no Swamp out, so this Binding costs 2. That'll tap Jordan Davis out.
All right, let's see what we target. Jordan Davis really in the tank, I think, knows about the spell bomb. Oh, okay. We'll see what gets bounced.
Yeah.
It's probably
Okay, so we're making blue and then sacking star. Probably keeping blue, but maybe not.
we might be rebuked.
Mana.
Oh.
We turn it into white. Okay, there's a
okay.
Nettle Cyst doing that in response.
And we can this Ether spell bomb can also tap itself for blue and
Yeah.
then sacrifice itself, which is really cool. And then we get to bounce the Urza in response to the Leyline Binding targeting it. Ether spell bomb is one of the weird cycles where it doesn't tap to sack activate.
Yeah. Reese just wanted to use the mana that he had access to from Urza first. Get that
Absolutely.
Nettle Cyst onto the battlefield.
Ton of
He was
pressure.
always going to save it. So a very tight sequencing there from Zach Reese. Definitely knows his deck very well. And this game looks pretty well in hand at this point, though there are a lot of cards back for Jordan Davis.
There are. They don't seem that impactful though. It's just, I mean, the Omnath deck is just getting buried by more powerful things. Like Urza just generates
Yeah.
a lot of mana similar to Omnath, but has this card advantage engine built in. All these micro synergies that you're seeing from the artifact side of things are a lot stronger than stuff like Expressive Iteration. Like it's just going way over the top. Maybe not inherently in a vacuum, but once you start putting it all together, it's just out of control.
Yeah, this is definitely a very powerful deck in these attrition fights. That's what the Azorius Urza deck likes to do. I believe there's 5 artifacts on the battlefield here.
There's more than that. There's 2 artifact lands hiding.
Oh yeah, the bridges. So 7.
All right, I wonder if it's all face or if any's going to red and 6.
It's like it's
Looks
FaceTime.
Yeah. Not sponsored.
There is a replacement Omnath in Davis's hand. Known about that, so that's kind of step 1 for him to get back into this game.
Yep, Omnath plus fetch land's pretty good. The red and 6 is going to allow for a fetch land to come back to guarantee that extra burst of mana.
Yeah, kind of surprised that the Red and 6 got to live. Here's Omnath. I also see a baby Teferi in the hand.
There's only 2 mana
Yeah.
up right now, so if Metallic Rebuke could have been devastating.
Do we have another fetch land? Oh no, yeah, we can rebuy one with Ren. So that's going to get us to 7 mana. And we can actually Teferi, bounce the Leyline Binding, recast it, deal with the Urza that way.
Nice. Good call.
But you also have to deal with these 3 large creatures, the Germ and the 2 Constructs.
Yeah, and they're chunking in, and we already saw last turn Zach Reese went face damage, ignoring the red and 6 completely to do max to the face. Jordan Davis down to 12, even though he's gaining a bunch of life. Now up to 16. Can Fetch shock here.
Has another Teferi too, but unfortunately doesn't have the ability to play 2 Teferis and replay the Leyline Binding.
We have another thing. We have another thing. I don't know what it is.
Is this
It's an
Odawara.
Odawara.
So that's going to be 3 to channel because the Urza is a legendary creature.
Holy
And
smokes.
now,
Now dead.
yeah, now I think we're
Game's
dead.
over. So we can fetch. We can go get Urza. We have to bounce Construct, or else we're 100% dead. And I think we're dead no matter what because we have to shock.
Yeah, that's going to
Unless
leave.
Teferi can draw a Solitude or a Fury, I think. That's maybe it.
Well, that's going to leave 2 6/6s in play, right? Because they were 7/7s last turn, and then the Stone Forge and the Urza, that gets you to 14.
Okay.
So Teferi definitely not enough here. Could draw a pitch elemental. So I think that's what needs to happen. We need to draw a Solitude or Fury off of this Teferi. You also have the potential to use Urza to equip the Calder Complete to something, so that's plenty of damage.
All right, so let's bounce. Construct down. Draw a card.
Yeah, I think it actually just needs to be Solitude. I don't think Fury is enough either.
Yeah, because you have to kill the other construct or whatever the
Yeah.
Cauldron Complete attaches to. Yeah, we're just counting up the damage, but this is probably it. Zach Reese looks like he's going to cash his ticket to the top 8 here in our 2+K RCQ Invitational Qualifier. Let's see if he can find the damage. Saga's the draw. That's going to pump the Nettle Cyst.
Yeah, so that's 1 more point.
Now we can equip Cauldron Complete with the Urza, 5 mana and 2 artifacts.
And tap the Calder Complete itself and the Talisman.
Yep. We're going
Yeah,
to
put that on the Stoneforge Mystic, sure.
That'll do it. Coming in hot. 13 damage plus. Jordan Davis extends the hands. Now, that was our first match playing, but it looks like we still have a backup match, and we're going to try to get you the remnants of that game. But congrats to our blue-white Urza player, showing that the deck isn't just a cheeky combo deck with Thopter Sword, but has a lot of avenues of attack, a lot of great synergies that they use to win that game against 4-color Omnath Control.
Yeah, really, really good stuff there. Sort of beating 4-color at its own game.